are Maui County, Oahu, and Kauai County as well. Taking a look at Hawaii Island earlier this morning, that hurricane watch was canceled for Hawaii County. As we saw just days ago, the cone of uncertainty did show direct impact for Hawaii Island. Now with that system moving a bit more toward the north, we are seeing some of those outer bands of moisture and wind affect the windward areas of our Hawaii. Maui definitely getting the brunt of the moisture right now, pretty much across the island, and stronger conditions throughout Haleakala. Hana District definitely pretty dangerous. You want to avoid the road to Hana for today. For our Doppler radar, we are picking up even more so those heavier showers throughout Ka'anapali and then throughout our Molokai as well. Taking a look at our Doppler radar and how much impact we are expecting, more so of a timeline. You can see today, this morning, Maui County, throughout later on, Oahu this afternoon, late this afternoon throughout tonight, Kauai County and Kauai and Niihau. Of course, we're still picking up some dangerous high surf. We'll give you the latest updates coming up in the next weather hit, but for now, over to you.
All right. So, Tasia, just some quick questions for you. What can we expect for the exact timeline for it hitting the rest of the island?
Well, today, definitely the brunt of the moisture. We'll continue to see it more so throughout Maui County, and then Oahu later on today, into later on tonight, Kauai County. We're going to see that system slowly move up the island chain.
And, you know, we already saw some of those impacts from our live cameras, but what has been some of the strongest gusts and winds that we've seen so far, Tasia?
Strongest gusts, as we just saw throughout Lanai City, about 45 miles per hour as those wind speeds are really filtered in between Molokai and Maui. That definitely just sets the tone for today, especially downslope of the terrain. People who live downslope of a mountain, they're going to experience a bit more of those stronger wind speeds.
And we talked about how the Big Island has kind of breathed a sigh of relief, that it's kind of skirted it up north. But what are the biggest threats that you're seeing today?
Still, winds are a big one, and we're seeing how large the system really is, still a Category 1, and that cone of uncertainty is still, there's still a possibility of it making direct impact more so for those smaller islands, so we're going to continue to track that quite closely.
And you know, you mentioned how wide this is, and people, you know, it's not necessarily just the direct part, because those outer bands could kind of clip, especially those north-facing shores, as you mentioned, so even if it just is that little area clipping it, what can we expect with surf with that impact?
That's why we heard from the ocean safety officials, if possible, definitely avoid going into the ocean. Although it's tempting, it looks like it's fun out there, but anything can change at any minute. We are expecting wave heights today, 15 to 25 feet. Already saw for Hawaii Island, some areas 10 to 15 this morning.
All right, Tasia Worley tracking it all for us. We'll, of course, continue to keep an eye on it, and you'll give us those updates as soon as we get them. Thanks, Tasia. All right, well, Hurricane Douglas is expected to pass north of Hawaii Island this morning, as we mentioned. Them breathing a sigh of relief there. Looks like it's going to completely miss the Big Island. But if Civil Defense gives the Red Cross the green light, there was an evacuation center there at Hilo High Gymnasium, one of 4 across the island that would be activated. Officials want to make sure that those who are seeking shelter have plenty of room to social distance. So the capacity is 50 people. Normally, that gym's usual cap would be 2,000 people.
They're going to get the temperature taken, they're going to answer some questions, and then we'll register them, and they'll come in and they'll select a spot. They're going to have to social distance once they're inside the gym, wear the face masks at all times, use hand sanitizer, and they have to bring their own water, food, blankets, pillows, anything to make themselves comfortable throughout the night.
And we will have a live report from Hawaii Island and a look at the current conditions coming up in the next hour of Good Morning Hawaii.
And we're now getting an update from Bob Ballard. That is from the National Weather Service. Good morning, Bob. Let's see if we can pick you up. Good morning. Can you hear me? Testing. Good morning. Bob, can you hear me? Well, we have Bob, as you can see right here. We're trying to get that connected so he can hear us, and so can you. We're going to get those latest updates, at least within the next 10 minutes. For now, we're going to toss it back to the desk.
All right, let's check in on the Valley Isle. Residents lined up for gas in Kahului as businesses boarded up to prepare for hurricane-force winds. Mayor Michael Victorino is urging residents to shelter in place all day long. Maui County has seen a bump up of wind speed since overnight. 5 emergency shelters are now open. They're at Maui High School, South Maui Gym, King Kekaulike High School, Lahaina Intermediate School, and Hana High School. The county will open shelters in Lanai and Molokai this morning at 7, which means it's already open.
And on Maui, a hurricane warning was issued this morning at 5 a.m. And as we've been hearing, depending on which way it takes, we could see higher or lower surges there on Maui. Definitely still up in the air right now.
And our Malika Dudley is standing by on Maui with the latest. Good morning, Malika.
Good morning. All right, so in the last 5 minutes, it has really changed here up in the Pukalani Kula area. The temperature has dropped, so I'm shivering. I have goosebumps all over. The rain has come down pretty hard. It's kind of in bursts, but it's definitely changing. I'm getting reports from all over the island. So let's start with Hana, because the radar looks really scary right now over in Hana, and you can see the satellite kind of parked over that area. So I wanted to know what the residents were seeing. I texted my friend Marnie, and she said that really right now it's just a little bit of rain and gray skies, but they are definitely bracing for what they know is coming. As far as Waikapu area, they seem to be doing just fine, but they had power outages earlier today, so lots of friends messaging me to tell me that that was happening. In Kihei, it's raining, which doesn't happen very often, so that's something new for them. They definitely need the rain, but the problem in Kihei is that when it rains really hard up here, up country, it tends to go down slope and flood the Kihei area. So now with it raining in Kihei and also raining up country, there's that double whammy for the potential for flooding in that area. I also just had someone write to me to tell me that in Kahana, it's getting windier by the minute, and the spokesperson from Zippy's Kahului told me that they have decided to close the Zippies today because of Hurricane Douglas. But let's take a live look outside down in Kahului Harbor, where my photographer Paul is getting the live video of the bay there. He said earlier he saw some kind of marine animal seeking harbor in that area. We're not too sure what it is. He was saying a whale, but it's not whale season, so something is in there. We'll keep you up to date on that if he sees it again, but definitely blustery. The wind is kicking up the waves and bringing in more storm surge, and the waves are getting bigger. They're filling in. As far as the National Weather Service forecast goes, sustained winds anywhere from 45 to 65 miles per hour for Molokai, gusting to 85 to 100. 30 to 60 mile per hour winds for Maui, gusting to 55 to 90. Depending on where you are on island, it's going to be gustier for the north and east sides as opposed to the south and west sides. And of course, remember, if you're up country or in an area where downsloping winds can occur, so on an elevated terrain, you could get some of those higher gusts. And for Lanai, 25 to 35 mile per hour winds, gusting to 50. So I'm going to keep an eye on conditions. People are writing into me from all across Maui. I'll keep an eye on what's happening up here on my property. I'm in the Pukalani Kula area. There's some big trees here, so I'm feeling a little bit uneasy about what could happen if the winds get really high here. But I'll keep watching. I'm live from Pukalani for you, KITV4 Island News.
And Malika, how long has it been raining that hard up country where you are now?
It started raining lightly last night. And through the night, there were just bursts of downpours. No lightning, no thunder. But in the last 15 minutes or so, the downbursts have been a bit more intense. I mean, there was one that came and I had sideways rain coming, and I thought I might have to move to the other side of the house. So looks like those types of conditions are going to continue and probably get worse.
And talked about your stories yesterday about prepping and how people are preparing for the worst here. What are you hearing from the people that are calling you? I know they're talking about seeing more of these impacts.
I didn't get the second half of your question, but I know you're talking about prepping. So yesterday, we saw people boarding up. We saw people tying things down. Lots of businesses are taking action, and it was made a little bit easier. This is the silver lining, I suppose. Because of COVID, a lot of businesses are closed, and so they didn't have to deal with the juggling of customers and being open and trying to prepare for a hurricane. So, for example, it was on Front Street. This was the first time that the GM had been in since March. And so she came in, she said it was pretty easy to get everything set up and be prepared. Here at my house, I don't have anything boarded. I'm in a really old house. It's a 42-year-old house, and we just moved in a week ago, and we discovered we have 3 or 4 leaks in the roof. Oh, no. So I'm with you. I feel you guys.
Yeah, well, stay safe out there. Malika Dudley, appreciate you for giving us your live reports today. Stay safe. All right, let's check in now on Oahu. A lot of stores here are already running low on supplies.
Yeah, I went out to the west side yesterday. They were already running low there. People were stocking up. Well, here at the Ewa Beach City Mill, people have already been scrambling for those last-minute supplies ahead of Hurricane Douglas. You see right here, these are some of the essentials. This bin had flashlights and batteries. Those are already sold out. This hurricane was enough to bring Mr. Fix-It out of retirement.
They brought me back after 50 years.
Frank Suster has seen it all before, the runs on the stores before a big storm, but none in the middle of a global pandemic.
I mean, most people, because of the pandemic, had extra food, you know, because you can't go to many restaurants. So food is not, to me, as big a problem as being prepared for that flood or that power failure.
Lines of people gathered to fill up their propane tanks, stock up on things like sandbags and water vacuums, and of course plywood to board up their homes. Jeff Roberts got some fresh cut for his house in Waipahu.
I'm 43 and it's been standing since before I was born, so.
How many hurricanes has that thing been through?
Oh, I'd say about 6, 7.
And this time, just like then, he's not taking any chances. Not for Douglas or anything else 2020 might throw our way.
You know, it's kind of like an eye-opener. Like, everybody's thinking like, oh, it's going to pass, oh, it's going to pass. But you know what? It's important to be prepared no matter what is coming. Hurricane, tsunami, pandemic, zombies, you know, whatever.
And part of staying prepared is, of course, getting help if we need it. And Governor Ige has confirmed that President Donald Trump approved and signed an emergency disaster declaration that will make federal funds available for any storm damage we might see.
The response from the administration has been very quick. We've gotten authorizations in record time in every single instance so that we could work federal, state, and county emergency managers respond to the needs of our community in a timely manner.
Well, Hawaiian Airlines canceled all flights between Hawaii and the U.S. mainland. All inter-island service is also canceled, and most of Hawaii's fleet of jets have been evacuated off of Oahu.
The U.S. Coast Guard, meanwhile, is closing their ports across our state. Big Island and Maui ports closed up yesterday, and Oahu's closed at 2 o'clock this morning. Kauai's closed at 8. And shipping company Matson is adjusting their schedule to make sure neighbor islands get their supplies after the ports close. Several of their ships arrived yesterday to unload cargo before heading back out to sea.
All right, let's get a check on what's happening on Kauai now. We are joined now by Mel Raposa. He is part of the community there, a longtime activist and neighborhood leader. Good to see you, Mel. How is it over there? What's the mood like?
Wow, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Well, it's actually kind of eerie. You know, this kind of reminds me of Iniki. Everything is very quiet. I'll reverse my camera and you can see that's the sleeping giant right there. I live right on the bottom of the sleeping giant, and everything is so calm and quiet. The birds are singing. It's reminiscent of how it was before Iniki, and that's kind of worrisome. You know, it's you'd never guess that there was a hurricane coming by what it looks like out here in Wailua.
And Mel, what are your concerns in terms of the path that it's possibly heading now? If anything, it would be the north part of Kauai that would be impacted the hardest. And of course, kind of adding insult to injury, of course, after they rebuild after the floods last year.
Yeah, it's always a concern, the North Shore. The amount of water that'll come down. I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be pretty, and I think everyone just got to get ready and be prepared. I think the whole island is going to feel the impacts. Just track and looking at the radar images, I think the winds are going to be a big problem for many people here. But the North Shore, unfortunately, again, we'll see the brunt.
Yeah, and I know we had been tracking this for several days beforehand, and we didn't expect this type of, impact on Kauai. We had thought maybe it would be a little bit lighter than this. What were the preparations that went into it? What is the mayor saying, for example?
Well, the mayor has been very active all along, warning the people. I think right now information is key in getting people prepared. The problem is we've had so many hurricanes that have passed over the last decade, and I think people get complacent. And this one, everyone expected it to go north, and it didn't. So a lot of people preparing. I mean, I know it was the Costco gas line was ridiculous, but all the other gas stations were empty. So it wasn't. That was different from Iniki. Iniki, it was all of the gas stations. Of course, we didn't have Costco back then. But right now, it's the stores. We went to the store yesterday, picked up some water. There was still a lot of supplies left. I'm not sure what it's like today, but a lot of people have been preparing. We all procrastinate, hoping that the storm would turn, and now everybody's out trying to get ready. So I just hope they got what they need, because I think this will be, we'll see island-wide. I think we'll see some impacts.
Yeah, and you mentioned the supply, and we talked to people on Oahu, but I'm sure Kauai as well. It's kind of unique. This is the first big hurricane that we've had during a pandemic. So how has that impacted the supply? Because I know, when COVID started, a lot of people went to Costco and stocked up, and might be good on food, but maybe not so much the sandbags and things like that we would think of for a hurricane.
Yeah, I think for the most part, everyone here, probably statewide, because of the pandemic, has stocked up on necessities. So maybe that was somewhat of a blessing, I guess, if you had to find something positive about COVID. But everyone's pretty well stocked, so I didn't see as much people rushing to the stores. Into the store, it was it was normal. But I'm not sure what it's like today, because today it's door and it's coming. So now we got to really be careful and be prepared. But as far as the county's response, I think, we're lucky, we're blessed. We got good leadership, and they've been keeping us abreast regularly. So, it's upon our individual selves to be responsible and do what we need to do, and we'll get through this.
And as you said, it's not the first time that Kauai has borne the brunt of a big hurricane. So if anything, you've learned a lot from those experiences. Hopefully it doesn't get bad this time around again. Mel Raposo, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us some insight of what's happening on Kauai. Aloha to you.
Thank you, guys. You all stay safe. Stay safe. God bless.
God bless.
All right, you two take care. Definitely going to keep an eye on what's going on Kauai. And meanwhile, we are continuing to follow Hurricane Douglas in Honolulu as well.
KITV4's Nicole Tam joins us live at Sandy Beach. Nicole, what do you have for us?
Hey, Annalisa and Tom. Yeah, still here at Sandy Beach. And, I went to Kaiser High School here on the east side, and I know everybody likes to go to Sandy's. And so I know a lot of people are starting to roll in as well. And surf condition out here, actually, surfers tell me it's not what they expected, because they expected much bigger waves from Hurricane Douglas. But as of right now, they say it's still manageable and people are having fun out there. But yeah, they tell me they're expecting a little more, but right now they're all just out there. And again, they're expecting storm surge from Hurricane Douglas, and we're told that could be dangerous, and that's expected later today. Honolulu Ocean Safety started early this morning at 6 in the morning instead of 9. Lieutenant Tanner Hayton joined me live earlier on Good Morning Hawaii, and this is a message he has for people who plan to go out to the water.
Storms are very unpredictable. When they're approaching the island, they can hit at many different angles, and depending on the angle that it hits, certain beaches will get larger, surf than other places that are shadowed by, different islands or different points. So it's really hard to say which beach is going to do what at any specific time. So we just got to, again, prepare for the worst and hope for the best and see how it all unfolds.
Okay, anything else you want to share? Lieutenant Hayton tells me. Lieutenant Hayton tells me that the surf could actually get up to 15 feet by the end of tonight. And again, the storm surge, please be aware of that because it could get unpredictable and dangerous. So if you are planning to head out to the water, please stay safe. And if you have any doubt at all, don't go out. For now, reporting live at Sandy Beach, Nicole Tam, KITV4 Island News.
All right, thank you so much, Nicole. Breaking news now. New information just into the KITV4 newsroom. We're now learning that all Kaiser Permanente medical offices in Wailuku are closed due to Hurricane Douglas. Kaiser just announcing this at 8 this morning, and at last check, all other Kaiser facilities are open.
All right, I want to turn things back over to Tasia right now. Hey, Tasia.
Good morning. We've got the latest update. It's still a maximum sustained winds at 90 miles per hour, so it's still a Category 1, and it continues to move toward the west-northwest at the same momentum of 16 miles per hour. Now it's located, well, the center of the storm is now located just 90 miles east of Kahului. As you can see, some of those outer bands of clouds, a lot of moisture making its way throughout Maui County at the moment, and we're going to continue to see that track. It's pretty much unchanged as we see that center of the cone of uncertainty still expected to move quite close north of our Oahu and then just north of our Kauai. That could possibly make some impact there. Of course, you just have to remember that hurricane force winds do extend about 30 miles just outward from the center of that storm. So definitely we are continuing to track with the cone of uncertainty encompassing entire Kauai County, at least those tropical storm force winds. So that's 39 to 73 miles per hour. Taking a look right now, that hurricane warning still in place for Maui. We just got this alert from the Department of Transportation that there are a few traffic signal outages reported along Honoapi'ilani Highway. So again, stay off the roadways if at all possible. If you do encounter any of those traffic signal outages, definitely treat every stop as a four-way stop. Hurricane warning still in effect for Oahu, Ni'ihau, and Kauai, so no changes there. That timeline still remains the same. Take a look at our satellite. You can see those outer bands of moisture, that outer bands of cloud coverage encompassing the northeast all the way to Hamakua Coast throughout our Hawaii Island. So we're continuing to see some impacts there. Heavy showers throughout Maui. As you can see, heavier pockets throughout the Hana district, all the way throughout Kahiki Nui as you do wrap your way around Makena, everywhere. But definitely a lot of ponding on the roadways as well. So again, stay off the roads and out of the water. Taking a look a bit further, you can see throughout our Oahu, we are expecting, well, we're already seeing a few showers, not because of the bands of moisture from Hurricane Douglas, but because a lot of that moisture is being embedded into that wind flow that we are getting. East winds right now about 10 to 25, stronger gusts, of course, throughout our eastern end of the state. But by early this afternoon, that's when we're expecting a bit more of those effects of wind and rain for our Oahu. Later on this afternoon, throughout tonight for Ni'ihau and Kauai. So once again, just continue to stay prepared. You and your ohana, stay at home if at all possible.
All right, Tasia, we did talk to Mel Raposo, who was on Kauai, and it looked like it was pretty calm, nothing yet. How soon can we see maybe some of this impact from the rains that you're talking about, the radius of the water coming in?
Well, we have seen in the last few hours that it's pretty much stagnant, that we still have that same maximum sustained winds at 90 miles per hour. It's still moving toward the west-northwest at 60 miles per hour, so not much change, especially with our water still at that same temperature. So it's sustaining that system as it continues to travel up the island chain. So later on tonight, could be as early as late afternoon that we could see some impacts of wind as well as rain for Kauai and Ni'ihau.
And in terms of what we've already seen so far, what's been the strongest wind gust that we've actually seen clocking in?
So 45 right now miles per hour throughout Lanai City, because those wind speeds are filtered throughout our Molokai and our Maui. And also just a great reminder to get prepared definitely for the western end of the state. Go around the house, any loose objects. That's what me and my ohana did yesterday. And you know your home the best. We noticed that where the places that typically flood a bit more around our home, that's where we filled it up with a bit more rocks and dirt and it was like a yard day yesterday, so that we tried to make the best out of it.
And as we're talking about kind of the forecasts that are coming in, what are the biggest threats that we should be bracing for at this point?
That's right. We're continuing to see heavy rain, as Malika Dudley has been doing such a great job showing that time lapse of it calming down and then just downpouring. She said vertical rain as well. So we're continuing to, or sideways rain. So we're definitely continuing to see on and off heavy showers. So flooding is possible. High winds is possible, especially if it's going to inch even closer, of course, for our smaller islands by the end of this afternoon. And then dangerous surf. Nicole Tam is out there, and definitely all ocean safety officials are continuing to stress it looks tempting, it looks fun, it could change at any moment. Best to just stay out of the water.
Yeah, and I know your latest track kind of has it both for Oahu and Kauai, kind of the North Shore, possibly facing the brunt. But as you mentioned, just how wide this is, I mean, if it goes up or down, it could have a more direct impact. But even if it's just an outer band, what would that mean in terms of surf?
Well, just the outer band, as we saw with it just being 90 miles east of Kahului, our tropical storm force winds extend up to 105. So that's already encompassing that whole section with the wind and all of that energy. Definitely expecting to see about 15 to 25 feet. Right now in Hana, we're picking up 10 to 15 foot faces.
Yeah, huge swells out there. Thank you so much for the latest report. Tasia Worley will be checking back with you in just a moment again. Back to the breaking news that we mentioned earlier. To clarify, we're learning that the Kaiser Permanente Medical Office in Wailuku is closed due to Hurricane Douglas, and Kaiser is just announcing that this morning. At last check, all other Kaiser facilities are open.
And on Maui, a hurricane warning was issued this morning at 5 a.m.
Our Malika Dudley is standing by on Maui with the latest from there. Malika, what are you seeing now?
We just had another big downburst. You just missed it, of course, because that's how live works, right? It was blowing sideways off of the roof in my face. That's going to continue. One new thing is the sirens will be going off here on Maui at 8:30 a.m. So I just want people to be aware of that. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Hunker down in your homes. But at 8:30 a.m., we're going to hear the sirens going. Let's take a look at some video in Kahului Harbor. It looks like it's getting more blustery area. We've got the wind kicking up, storm surge and waves, and the rain is coming down. The thing about Kahului is it is not a good place for flooding. Even when we have just a little storm that passes through, the entire town feels like it's flooded. You know, right through the center of Kahului town. Pu'unene area, down Wakea, all of those streets end up becoming hazards. So it's another reason that the mayor was encouraging everyone to shelter at home. So if you can, please don't be on the roads. Please don't be out and about. We don't know the extent of how high these winds are going to get and where exactly they're going to occur, but we know that we have the potential for very high winds. In fact, they're already occurring. Like Tasia was saying, we already clocked 45 mile per hour gusts on Lanai, and those gusts are expected to get up maybe up to 100 miles per hour in some areas. So don't take your chances. Stay home, hunker down. We will bring you the latest on air and online here at KITV4 Island News. Back to you guys.
Malika, just one quick follow-up for you. What are you hearing about the other areas of Maui? I know you're in upcountry, and you mentioned Kahului, but what about the others? How are they doing? Hana, for example, what are you hearing from them?
What I'm hearing in Hana is they haven't quite seen the heavy rain yet. It's just some light rain. The wind is starting to pick up just a little bit. That's kind of what I'm hearing around the island, actually, that it'll downpour, then it'll stop a little and be light rain. Definitely gray skies everywhere. The wind is starting to pick up. There's times, like right now, the wind is picking up here up country, but then it dies down a little. So this is the type of situation that we're looking at for a little while here. As the system approaches, that could get more consistent in all areas. The areas of concern are going to be along the north and east side, so along that Ho'okipa coastline all the way down through Hana, and of course up here up country, Ulupalakua area. As I said earlier, when Iselle made landfall on the Big Island, the strong strongest winds across the entire state were found right over here at Ulupalakua Ranch, and it brought down tons of trees. It was a really damaging system, and it didn't even make landfall here. So keep in mind that we could get those types of conditions just about anywhere in Maui County.
And you mentioned everybody kind of getting ready. I mean, we already just heard that Kaiser closing their office there in Wailuku on Maui. I know you mentioned one of the Zippies there closing as well. What are you hearing from your friends around the island in terms of what's still open as people are trying to make sure they're prepared for this?
I think people are just hanging out, you know, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're staying indoors, maybe making some last minute prep. I mean, I myself told my husband that he had to bring all of the plants out of the planters because I didn't want them getting flooded, you know. We filled up a few extra big 5-gallon jugs of water. You know, there are some things that you can't do now, right, that you should have done before, like boarding up your home and tying things down. Maybe you can tie things down now because the wind isn't up too high, but you know, these are the things that people can be doing right now, and I've heard that some of them are, but most people are prepared. They're sitting in their homes and they are watching us on CAN-TV4.
I know the worst case scenario would be power outages. What are you hearing in terms of how they're preparing HECO, for example, or what residents are hearing? Oh, we're hearing the alarm already that you mentioned.
Yeah, let's take a listen. Yeah.
Can you guys hear it?
Yep, we can hear it.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
That made me emotional.
Wow, it brings back memories,
it's eerie,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Of previous natural disasters.
My heart is beating really fast, and I just started shaking. It's it just makes it real, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you're up country right now.
There is a hurricane warning.
Yeah, where's
for our county right now?
And so that's and you're up country right now. So where's the siren coming from?
Sounds like it's coming from downslope. I do know we have a siren along the highway up here, and I'm happy that I can hear it, because I know that sometimes we've got issues with sirens where certain people can't hear it because they're in certain areas. So from the Pukalani Kula area, I can hear the siren. It's not very loud, but I can hear it. And you know, it's confirming that there is an emergency upon us. And now is the time to hunker down, to be prepared.
And yeah, just the earlier question, Malika, just about power. What can you tell us about what's being advised in terms of should there be a power outage with flooding?
So there's a few things with power. One of the things is make sure you practice good generator safety. So if your power goes out, maybe Google it now before your power goes out, you know, so that you know what to do and how to use a generator properly. Whenever hurricanes come through and people start using generators because of power outages, inevitably there are the people that bring it indoors, and that can cause carbon monoxide poisoning and other issues. So make sure you look it up, do some research, and know how to use your generator. Of course, the generator should also not be wet. So you need to find an area where your generator can be not wet, but not inside. Some other things with power outages, usually the power outage is, a lot of times it's caused because of down power lines or down trees, right? So we want to stay away from any type of power line that has come down. The wind is kicking up, that has come down, and you always want to assume that they're live. You want to stay away, very far away from them. I think the mayor yesterday was telling us at least 50 feet away, but I would stay farther than that away from them. Power outages also impact all of your appliances, so that's, you know, when you would want to start to do things like taking care of your cold food and things like that. You know, there is a really good resource for us online on our website, so you guys should definitely check that out so you can get all the specifics, but those are just some highlights.
Yeah, and Malika, real quick, it sounds like the siren just stopped there behind you. It went on for about 3 minutes there. I mean, I know you said that there was one at 8:30. Any other ones planned, or do we know what's going on with the alert system?
I'm not not sure. I just heard that was the breaking news, that at 8:30 we would be hearing the sirens, and so, I'm happy to see that they work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially as it's going to be a long day ahead. Thank you so much for reporting for us out of your home there, Malika Dudley. We'll check back with you a little bit later on. Stay safe. All right, well, the time now, 8:34 a.m., and as we're talking about all of these needs happening across the islands, more than 700 households here on Oahu's North Shore actually stocked up on emergency food supplies before today's hurricane arrival.
Yeah, KITV4's Eddie Dowd was there as people lined up in their cars outside the Polynesian Cultural Center.
If dealing with a pandemic wasn't hard enough, add a hurricane to the mix.
Stay home tomorrow now, be safe, okay?
Already struggling families lined up to stock up on supplies ahead of the storm. One of those people, Valentina Samuelson, who says she's relied on food distributions like this one to feed her household.
I work hard. I have 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I work hard for my family. I'm a single parent.
We just totally commend families who want to make sure there's enough food in the house, to make sure the keiki eat, to make sure the kupuna eat.
Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell was there to help give out food, but also make a last-minute plea to residents.
Please just stay home, take care of each other, take care of your family, your friends, your neighbors, but stay home.
Saturday's distribution is the last of 3 that served Oahu's rural communities, but organizers believe more will be needed as COVID-19 continues to spread.
At the end of the day, it's incumbent on all of us and all of you, face coverings, 6 feet of physical distancing. Do not jeopardize our recovery.
Eddie Dowd, KITV4, Island News.
And our Ho'okupu or Giving campaign has raised more than $31,000 so far to help buy grocery store gift cards for families in need. And to find out how you can donate, visit our website, kitv.com/give.
And just a reminder, the dangerous weather conditions are forcing several areas and attractions to shut down. We're, of course, tracking all that for you.
Haleakala National Park, for example, is closed until further notice, and all sunrise reservations are canceled. The park says once the storm passes, it will determine when it's safe to reopen.
And today, the Department of Land and Natural Resources closed all state forest lands.
And the Waikiki Aquarium will be closed today. And a reminder that the city of Honolulu has canceled today's Kalakaua Open Streets event that was supposed to be running now through noon.
And we also heard, of course, the Kaiser facility in Wailuku on Maui also closing its doors. And, we're expecting some businesses, of course, to follow suit. And we'll, of course, continue to update you on that. Meanwhile, turning now to the Big Island, kind of a different situation right there. They're definitely breathing a sigh of relief now. It looks like they're in the clear. The hurricane watch there has been canceled.
Yeah, and it's where we find KITV4's TJ Horgan now. TJ, what are the conditions like in Hilo?
Annalisa, Tom, it's humid. It's actually fairly sunny. Early this morning around sunrise, it was raining a bit and the surf was up. Still is to some degree here at Honolulu Beach Park, but don't take my word for it. Figured we would bring in lifelong Big Island surfer here, Nikoe Clearwater. Nikoe, thank you for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you.
Nikoe, you were out, did you say, a little after sunrise today? What were the conditions like?
It's about 4 to 5 foot. Pretty clean so far. Kind of high tide.
Yeah. And compared to, you've been surfing here for a while, how does this compare to some of the waves you've seen in your lifetime here?
It's a decent little swell. We were expecting a little bigger, but it's been fun so far.
Are you anticipating it to grow a bit as the storm moves a little closer?
I hope so. As the tide drops, I'm hoping it gets a little bigger, yeah.
Are you going to be one of the brave souls out there in any weather if the surf's up?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And Nikoe, lastly, I think you wanted to give a shout out here. We have a new KITV4 employee, Malika Dudley, and we just so happened to run into Nikoe and his family. Nikoe, tell us about your relationship to Malika.
She is my sister-in-law. I'm married to her sister.
All right, so a shout out to Malika Dudley. Nikoe, thank you so much for coming on today, and best of luck out there. Stay safe.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right, so you heard it there from Nikoe. Surf is not as high as it was early this morning. He's hoping for a bigger swell later on this afternoon and into the evening. Sunny skies right now and no rain here in Hilo. For now, reporting live, TJ Horgan, KITV4 Island News. That's off to Tasia.
Definitely a small world, though. I mean, it's a little bit rainier right now where his sister-in-law is there on Maui. But yeah, so TJ, real quick before you go, just, I mean, obviously, they have these shelters ready to go, and, these things can really turn on a dime. I mean, the Big Island was in the path before that path changed. I mean, just talk about the relief. I mean, what are you hearing from people? I mean, obviously, I'm sure they're happy about that.
Yeah, yesterday I spoke with the Red Cross Hilo Logistics lead, Keone De La Cruz, for some period of time, and he was telling me they were anticipating setting up the evacuation centers and shelters. They were actually staffing them up until around 12 noon yesterday. The call came in from Civil Defense here in Hawaii County saying they wouldn't be necessary at 12 noon yesterday. They made the call last night. No shelters needed on the Big Island, and last I spoke with Civil Defense about an hour ago, still no shelters open right now. Again, contributing to that sigh of relief as Hilo and the Big Island as a whole may be the first island to feel some of the effects of Douglas. They certainly won't feel them to this degree of severity that some of the other islands will.
Yeah, it's good to have it there and not have to use it there.
That's right. It's definitely a sigh of relief when that track does change for the better, and we're continuing to see that cone of uncertainty quite similar to what we saw in encompassing Kauai County as it did Hawaii County just a couple of days ago, but the factors are a bit different as of right now. We do have the same stats up with 90-mile-per-hour winds for Hurricane Douglas, so that still leaves it at a Category 1, still having that west-northwest motion at 16 miles per hour. The cone of uncertainty is still encompassing our Kauai County and just north of our Oahu, and that timeline more so later on today, throughout tomorrow, or throughout tonight into tomorrow morning. We're also continuing to see it inch even closer. Now 90 miles east of Kahului, Hawaii, we are continuing to see a lot of bands of moisture there. Wind gusts, of course, a bit stronger downslope of a few mountain areas. We are getting stronger gusts that have been picked up throughout Lanai City at 45 miles per hour, 28 for Kahului, and our maximum sustained winds are at around 26 to 30 for Lanai, 22 for Kaneohe, and we're seeing a bit stronger conditions throughout Hamakua Coast. So although TJ is a bit further in Hilo, we're seeing some passing showers there at Hilo Bay. We are getting some on and off showers throughout Hamakua Coast, definitely some cloud coverage. Maui County, the brunt of the moisture is there. As you can see, those outer bands definitely just kissing those windward sides, and a lot of that moisture embedded into the wind flow, giving us some heavier pop-up showers throughout the island of Maui, especially. Here's a look at Wailua, and all the way through Kailua, you can see for Maui, definitely seeing some impacts there with heavy rain. Wind speeds will continue to trend upward throughout today. Later on this afternoon for our Oahu, we do have some cloudy skies and enhanced showers as of right now. Later on for today, we'll continue to see that increase, of course, as early as 1 and 2 o'clock this afternoon. That was according to National Weather Service's press conference earlier this morning.
And Tasia, you've been through a lot of these hurricanes, over the years. How are you seeing the difference between this one as leading up to compared to previous years?
It's pretty impressive to still hold on to that Category 1 title, and we saw some substantial weakening in the last couple of days because it was traveling over cooler waters. Right now we're seeing a bit more stagnant with our water temperature 79, 80. So not seeing a change that much, that's what worries me very much, and definitely don't want to take it lightly. We're hoping that that cone of uncertainty, that storm starts to trend a bit more toward the north of that cone. Right now it still encompasses at least the northeast, making direct impact for Kauai later on this afternoon as a Category 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned that cone of uncertainty. We know the good news, the Big Island appears to be in the clear. It looks like it's tracking north of Maui as well, but these things can change. So worst case scenario right now for Oahu and Kauai, could we see a direct hit?
Right now, with the cone of uncertainty, it's showing it more so for the smaller islands throughout Kauai. Oahu just north. Now, a hurricane isn't a specific point. It's more so big amount of area, especially with hurricane force winds extending 30 miles from the center. So those tropical storm force winds at 105 outward, and that's already encompassing the windward sides of Maui. So we are seeing a lot of impacts there. Although we may not see a direct hit for Maui County and Oahu, there's still going to be flash flooding. There's still going to be dangerous wind speeds, as Malika has been mentioning that she's already feeling some of those impacts, but also dangerous surf.
Yeah, speaking of surf, you know, we saw Nicole over at Sandy Beach and, you know, TJ over in Hilo, and surfers are out there, you know, but again, it is not something that you take very lightly.
That's right. A couple years ago when I was tracking Tropical Storm Lane, I actually bumped into some wave or storm hunters, and they do this kind of thing. They go out and they look for those storms and try and ride those swells. It's definitely enticing for some. For me, it was a little bit, so I had to lock down the surfboards just yesterday. We made those preps. Definitely advising IM ocean safety officials to not go out, because although you may feel confident in your skills, the water can change at any moment. Conditions can change. Winds could pick up. The tides could make a difference. Storm surge as well is also a possible threat.
Gotcha. And then real quick, what's the timetable at this point?
So right now we're continuing to see, as forecasted, those Maui County impacts of rain and wind. That could even increase more so throughout today. As early as this afternoon, early afternoon, Oahu, that's when we're going to see a bit more wind, heightened up rain later on this afternoon throughout tonight, Kauai County. Now, because that system is so big, we are expecting a lot of residual moisture behind that storm to also make a difference. And also with it moving at 16 miles per hour, what we don't want it to do is slow down in momentum, because when it slows down, more moisture is accumulating, more flash flooding is a possibility. So we want to continue to see this trend moving more toward the northwest, and also we want it to weaken, and hopefully wind shear will help impact that as well.
Yeah, we want it north
just
and fast.
Keep it going north and out of our way. All right. Well, thanks, Tasia. I know you're tracking that for us. We'll come back to you in a couple of minutes. Meanwhile,
but also, can I just, they're getting a lot of comments on social media that people are asking, now that it's out of the clear, what do I do with all these supplies? You know, yesterday we went to go fill up our gas tanks. This is just the start. This is the first hurricane of the season. Hurricane season runs all the way throughout November, so we can expect this to happen once again. So I applaud you for being prepared. Definitely continue to stay prepared with you and your ohana, and also continue to tune in and watch us, because we're continuing to stay on top of it, not only on air, but also our team is working online.
All right, thanks, Tasia. Yeah, and you know, a lot of people have been talking about as well, you know, just we're in a pandemic as well as a hurricane, so a lot of people have already stocked up anyway, so definitely important to remember to get stocked up for this as well, food and supplies, of course. And a reminder, Hurricane Douglas is expected to pass north of Hawaii Island this morning. As we mentioned, Big Island kind of in the clear.
If Civil Defense gives the Red Cross the green light, this evacuation center in the Hilo High Gymnasium is one of the 4 across the island that would be activated. Officials want to make sure those seeking shelter have plenty of room to social distance, so the capacity is 50 people instead of the gym's usual cap of 2,000.
And as TJ just mentioned, looks like they're not going to have to use it, which is good news. Good to have it there, but not have to use it there. And on the Valley Isle, meanwhile, residents lined up for gas in Kahului as businesses boarded up to prepare for those hurricane force winds. Maui Mayor Michael Victorino urging residents there to shelter in place all day long. We heard from Malika, a lot of people on Maui already doing just that. And Maui County has seen a bump up of those wind speeds since overnight. We saw it just a couple of minutes ago with Malika. And meanwhile, 5 emergency shelters are in place there on Maui. They're going to be at Maui High School, the South Maui Gym, King Kekaulike High School, Lahaina Intermediate School, and at Hana High School over in East Maui. The county will open shelters in Lanai and Molokai as well. Those actually opened up about an hour ago at 7 o'clock.
And here on Oahu, Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell says 13 shelters will be made available at 9 this morning, so just in about 12 minutes from now. Requirements include masks, social distancing, everybody's temperature will be checked, and people need to bring their own emergency kits. The Red Cross reports more than 300 volunteers are secured, and if more shelter space is needed, the Hawaii Convention Center is an option.
And Governor Ige, meanwhile, confirmed that President Donald Trump has approved and signed an emergency disaster declaration. That means that federal funds will be available if we see any damage.
The response from the administration has been very quick. We've gotten authorizations in record time in every single instance so that we could work federal, state, and county emergency managers respond to the needs of our community in a timely manner.
Well, Hawaiian Airlines canceled all its flights between Hawaii and the U.S. mainland. All inter-island service is also canceled, and most of Hawaii's fleet of jets have been evacuated off of Oahu.
And the U.S. Coast Guard, meanwhile, they're closing their ports across our state. The Big Island and Maui, the ports already closed yesterday. Oahu's closed up at 2 o'clock this morning, and Kauai's closed up at 8. Now, shipping company Matson is adjusting their schedule to make sure that the neighbor islands do get those supplies after the ports closed. Several of their ships arrived yesterday to unload some cargo before they went out back to sea.
All right, let's get a check again on the forecast for the tracking of Hurricane Douglas. Tasia, what are you seeing now?
We're still holding on to those sustained winds of 90 miles per hour. So Douglas is still a hurricane, Category 1, located about 90 miles east of Kahului, Hawaii. So if you are watching from home or listening online, we definitely thank you for staying with us. We're continuing to track this system. The cone of uncertainty definitely continues to show that this system will continue to crawl just on the back of the islands, continuing toward the north. We are seeing some heavier showers, some traffic signal outages as well for the island of Maui, where the brunt of the storm is. Some bands of moisture following behind Hurricane Douglas, now just making its way throughout the northeast of our Hawaii island. But as we saw just a few days ago, the cone of uncertainty did encompass our Big Island. Now it's encompassing Kauai County. So with it in the clear, we're hoping for the same change, for it to move a bit more northward and away from the state. Here's a look over at Mauna Kea the last couple of hours from 5:30 to 7:30. You can see some heavy rainfall being picked up on that camera. Definitely want to show you as much visual as possible. Throughout Maui, definitely seeing throughout Ulupalakua, Kahiki Nui, the normally very dry place. This is where I was born and raised. Usually very dry. We're seeing some heavy pockets of showers in those areas, especially up Mauka. Again, if you can avoid driving at all, definitely continue to do so. We're getting about a 1/4 inch of rain per hour in those heavier spots, as you can see. And then another dry spot, usually throughout Lahaina at this time, we're seeing passing showers. So lots of unstable weather for this morning, especially. We'll continue to see the brunt of this moisture move more so throughout our Oahu as early as this early afternoon.
All right, Tasia, I know you mentioned Maui there, but after that, what happens with Oahu and Kauai? I know a lot of people are concerned, especially with the North Shore there. I mean, that part of Kauai has been hit hard before. What can we see later today? So
in the cone of uncertainty, it's definitely still showing Kauai as that being a direct hit or even a possible threat, because the cone of uncertainty does include Kauai County at the moment. But just a few days ago, we saw that for Hawaii Island as well. So little changes are still a possibility. Right now, within the last 8 hours at least that I've been tracking it, we've continued to see the same amount of maximum wind speeds, the same amount of motion. We want it to move even quicker. We want it to weaken even more so. But right now the timeline remains the same. This morning for our Maui, midday into the afternoon for our Oahu, later on this afternoon throughout tonight for Kauai County.
Yeah, we heard from Malika Dudley over in Maui about, just seeing already those really hurricane force winds. We heard the alert, the alarm go off over there, testing their systems to make sure that it's ready for when we see the worst of it. What are you hearing about Maui and what their timeline is like?
Well, for Maui right now, we have those tropical storm force winds that are making its way throughout the windward areas. Hurricane force winds are just 30 from the center, so with it being about 90 miles away from Kahului, we're not going to feel as much of a dramatic increase of wind speeds there, but still 39 to 73 miles per hour is a lot with stronger gusts. So we are seeing those strong wind speeds there, especially throughout Lanai, because that island is right there in the middle, filtered between Molokai and Maui. So that's where a lot of our dangerous wind speeds are being picked up right now.
And Tasia, we mentioned these last-minute preparations. If you're trying to run out and grab something, I mean, is it safe if maybe you're on, Oahu heading up towards Kauai? Do you have a couple hours that you can run out and safely go out?
I just got a call from my friend. They're watching on their live stream, but they're playing tennis. They're playing tennis right now. They're trying to make the most of it before it happens, because they actually prepared a bit earlier. If you are still wanting to prepare, definitely good luck. luck. We definitely advise that to happen when we start to track these systems, especially in the Central Pacific already, which it has been for the last 3 days. So right now you still have a bit of time, you know, to fill up your gas tanks, get some extra water, make sure you have extra batteries, all of that. And definitely just to prepare also your food and everything, make sure you have all of that. You still have a bit of time for our Oahu. Maui, unfortunately, with those traffic signals out, some ponding on the roadways in the windward area, definitely not the time to be driving.
What about the Big Island? Are they in the clear now?
As of right now, it does look like Hawaii Island has already seen the brunt of the moisture, those wind speeds, and now picking up just some residual energy regarding surf. So we are seeing a lot less of a threat there. Of course, that tropical storm warning is still in effect for our Hawaii County.
Yeah, and you mentioned those conditions on the ground in Maui. Probably not a good idea to go out right now. You probably should have prepared before. But Oahu and maybe Kauai, what would you say if you had to guesstimate maybe a cutoff time to say, like, hey, you should be inside sheltering in place by maybe this time?
I say a little bit afternoon if you're procrastinating it. Other than that, just it's always best to plan ahead, and your last minute things should be done within the next hour for Oahu. Kauai, we're continuing to watch very closely again because that cone of uncertainty does show that it is expected to be dangerously near or even over those two islands. So preparing now for Kauai within the next couple of hours, and just again, stay at home, stay safe.
Yeah, don't procrastinate. I know we talked to Mel Raposo earlier, who lives on Kauai, and he was saying that it's just in the nature sometimes for some of the residents not to, you know, especially if it looks beautiful outside. Like you said, some people playing tennis, you know, in other islands. But at this point, not the time to procrastinate, right?
Definitely, especially with us living throughout COVID-19 and the pandemic, we should already be prepared for if anything happens, if we do have to stay at home. So definitely just a great reminder, with it being the first hurricane of the season, that this is a possibility that it could happen again for the next few months until November.
All right, well, thanks again, Tasia, for all the latest. We'll check back with you in just a minute.
Yeah, the calm before the storm there. And just a reminder, the dangerous weather conditions are forcing several areas and attractions to shut down already.
That's right. Haleakala National Park is closed until further notice. All sunrise reservations are canceled. The park says once the storm passes, it will determine when it's safe to reopen.
Yeah, not exactly surprised. Already seeing some rough weather there out in East Maui. And today, the Department of Land and Natural Resources closed all state forest lands as well.
And here, the Waikiki Aquarium will be closed today. Also, the city of Honolulu canceled today's Kalakaua Open Streets event. It was supposed to go all morning, but now that's done.
I think that as we continue to see cases increase, our actions on this island are making us not a safe place to live. And we need to protect each other and follow practices like we were following back in March and April.
For a moment to the other crisis we're facing right now, of course, the pandemic. We're dealing with that double threat, of course, Hurricane Douglas and the spread of coronavirus infections. We also saw a record number of new cases for the third day in a row. The Department of Health reporting 73 new cases across our state.
Yeah, 68 of them are right here on Oahu. 5 were reported on Maui. 188 new cases were reported over the past 3 days. We had 60 on Friday and 55 on Thursday.
And Mayor Caldwell says some of those cases that we're seeing have been a result of community spread clusters from bars. He says one unnamed bar hosted a gathering for UFC fight on July 20th, and he says the crowds there, they were not social distancing, they weren't wearing masks. Bartenders and customers have been testing positive there, and more people are still waiting for their results to come back. Now the mayor says bars may have to close at 6 p.m. He says he's going to be talking about those possible rollbacks with Governor Ige and the other mayors tomorrow.
Not 6 p.m.
Oh, 7
Earlier
p.m. Yes.
6 p.m. would be too early,
Right.
I think, for bars. But anyway, let's turn back to the weekend forecast, bringing back Tasia for the latest on Kahului. What are we looking at here?
Could definitely hear some of that wind being caught on the camera there. Definitely going to continue to see that, and there's still a possibility that it could increase even more so as that storm continues to pass a bit more toward the north. And I just want to circle back just a bit and correct myself. There is still a tropical storm watch in effect effect for our Hawaii County, not a tropical storm warning. So just a correction on that one. Maui, back to Maui. We have some heavy showers pretty much widespread across the island. Heavier pockets up the Mauka spots, especially for central areas. Definitely just a sight to see. Usually these very dry areas being battered with very heavy downpours. That is just telling you how significant this storm is, how powerful it is, how much moisture is caught up in that storm as well. Right now, just up Mauka, we can see that about 0.18 of an inch per hour is being downpoured in that area. This is from Ulupalakua all the way throughout Hana. And we've got those outer bands of moisture making its way closer throughout the windward areas of Maui, just about 8 miles out. So bands of moisture